Hey everyone, this is Josh from Visto for another episode of Talent Tips. I am here with Jordana Matsos. Jordana, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me, Josh.
Can you tell us, Jordana, just a little bit about yourself and what you're working on these days?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a former sales leader of multinational corporations and startup companies that started a recruitment agency approximately a year ago. I started it based on a need that I saw of a broken hiring system within companies and relationships with recruitment agencies as well. So what I'm really focused on these days is trying to help sales and marketing find careers at places of work that are progressive. And what I mean by that is really around community minded places where you can grow your career and be really proud to work. So we partner with organizations that tend to have unbiased hiring practices and place talent into them.
Very cool. And I think that'll give some great perspective for our favorite question we like to ask. Jordana, can you give three quick tips to aspiring immigrants who are looking to land their first job in Canada?
You got it. We work with a lot of newcomers to Canada to place them into organizations from coast to coast. And I would say my three tips would be network, network, network. So, what I mean by that is use LinkedIn, use Clubhouse. You really need to build strong relationships, not just with hiring managers, but with potentially other people who could help you to find a job. There's a lot of statements out there around survival jobs and people who come to Canada and just take a job because they need to get the quote unquote Canadian experience. And so they're working at roles where they're grossly underpaid, or they might not be using all of the skill sets and competencies that they've learned. So
Mm-hmm.
whether you're using in-mails or you're using connection requests, please reach out to people with a very specific statement in mind as to what it is that you would like to learn from them. I think the other piece of advice that I have would be to speak to other newcomers to Canada about the cultural differences in interviewing and working in Canada. We do the best that we can as recruiters to help people in the interviewing process, but there are some cultural nuances, eye contact, even the words that you're saying, the job titles on your resume. So, what we have found is that if you can't get a recruitment agency to respond to you, perhaps looking at people who have recently immigrated and started in this process would also be able to give you a handle on what it's like to work in Canada. The third piece of advice that I have is please don't lie. Be very honest and clear about your skills and your status. As a recruiter, I cannot help you if you tell me that you are in Canada, but I can clearly see that you're not here yet and you haven't gone through the process of visa or sponsorship. So please be very honest about what your skills are, what type of role you're looking for, or maybe you're unclear on that and you need some, and maybe you haven't started the process of coming to Canada yet. But as long as you let us know, then we're able to help and network with other partners who could help you too.
Absolutely. Yeah, those are great tips. Can you tell us a little bit about any roles that you or maybe some of your clients are hiring for right now that you'd like to highlight?
Yeah, we're always looking for entry level salespeople. So those would be inside sales reps, business development reps, lead generation reps. Those are people who are accustomed to wanting to, talk on the phone and do some cold calling and some networking. The other roles that we have with a partner agency that are very popular are IT based roles, developers, project managers, hardware designers. My goodness, this market is just desperate for them. And
Mm-hmm.
I'd say the third role that we tend to hire for are mid-level kind of account executives and account managers. So people who have been accustomed to prospecting as well as managing the sales cycle throughout, presenting and closing deals, always looking for them too.
Awesome. And we'll provide a link to maybe your website or whatever page you recommend. We'll make sure to link to in the description. The last question, Jordana, is who's one person in the Canadian recruitment HR people or talent space that you'd like to give a shout out to and why?
One is so hard, right? Where there's so many brilliant people in this space on social media who are really helping others, whether it's through the interview process or just tips on, how to work smarter or your mental health. But one that's been really influential with me is Naeem Noorani, or as he's known, Nick Noorani in Canada. And the reason why I adore Nick and encourage any newcomer to follow Nick is his company, Immigrant Networks, is completely focused on helping newcomers to network, whether you're in Canada or whether you're still abroad. Tons of free content and free material. And Nick hosts an online meeting once a week where newcomers to Canada can share their experiences and their challenges and their opportunities. And he gives some very candid advice as to how to network in Canada. And many of the individuals on that call have left that call feeling so thankful and so grateful to be able to have the opportunity to listen in on these great tips. So I really encourage anybody to follow Nick.
Absolutely, and I echo that as well. As someone who knows Nick, he's a really great guy, and I'm gonna have to have him on the show now. So awesome, Jordana, thanks so much. This was super helpful. Really great tips. If anybody wants to learn more about you or your business, where do you recommend they go?
LinkedIn, to our company page, Hirequity, or to our website at hirequity.ca. Thanks, Josh.
Awesome. We'll link to those in the description. Thanks for coming on, Jordana. Thanks everybody for tuning in.